Hello everybody, here I am wanting to give you another update from North Battleford, Saskatchewan. We're on our second day of camp. We have 2 services a day. We had 2 yesterday on Sunday and 1 this morning, and some other things that went on today that I'll tell you about. But right now I'm on a walk. Now Sharon Schools is down the highway there, and I'm on the walk up the highway to, well, they call it the Cameron McIntosh Airport, but it's the North Battleford Regional Airport. And what it used to be was a training ground for the Royal Air Force in World War II. A training ground where they built a whole bunch of buildings and a hospital and all sorts of things to be used in World War II. Well, after the war was over, these buildings were sitting empty. And a Bible school in Saskatoon, a bunch of the students and teachers started to get restless. Rather than follow the normal curriculum and day-to-day schedule of a normal Bible school, the Holy Spirit was starting to move on them. And they, like I say, they were getting restless. So they ended up kind of getting kicked out. And some of the teachers, professors, started a college in North Battleford. Anyways, long story short, they started using some of the buildings at the airport. And in 1948, February, the Holy Spirit fell on them, speaking some wonderful things and teaching them that they needed to go on in the Spirit. He talked to them about the gifts of the Spirit. If any of you are kind of history buffs when it comes to religious things, what happened in North Battleford in 1948 was the start of something that is still growing. And so what happened was they ended up moving a bunch of these buildings from the airport over to the Sharon Schools grounds, where there was a college, a high school, an orphanage. And then after the revival hit, started having camp meetings and things like that. And from there spread local churches all over North America, of which we are still a part of. Now, many branches broke off from the original revival and truth and revelation that came forth from there. But there is still a remnant of people following what God had spoken to them about and continuing to respond to the revelation that God spoke and continues to speak. So this is the airport. There's not much that goes here. Some spray operations, but a few other things. But after so like I said, the buildings, a lot of them were disassembled or secured and moved down the highway to the grounds there now. So we have camps there, 2 or 3 times a year for either families or youth. And it also is the offices for kind of the central, for, we don't have a name for the church. I mean, for government requirements, it's called Global Missions. But in the meantime, Saskatchewan phased out orphanages, so there's no orphanage anymore, and there's no college or high school. But we have the camps, and from there the local assemblies that spread out. So it's been an interesting many years since 1948, since that happened, and God is continuing to build line upon line, precept upon precept, and His truth, He is teaching us little by little, and we're so thankful for that. So after dinner today, had a little nap, but then my sister and brother-in-law, they were holding kind of a sing-song and lunch for the seniors. And so even though I'm not a senior yet, they invited me to come and had a wonderful time with them. All right, well, hope this is a little bit of a update and a primer for other videos that I can do later on in the week.